My name is Eric Cunningham. Of course, it's Monday. It's 7 o'clock Eastern. It's 4 o'clock here on the West Coast. That means it's time for What's the Big Idea? Of course it is. I am very lucky. I'm very psyched for today's guest. It is somebody who lives in this world. I am actually accessing everything. I'm going to give her a little intro that I adore. She has been a senior editor at Future Human, a founding editor of Future Human, edited at 10, Inverse, Elemental, all these websites that really talk about exactly what we love to talk about, which is the things that are happening in the future. She has a great Twitter account, which is how I got introduced to her, and I'm going to bring her right in because I'm very psyched to tap into her wisdom. This is Yasmin Tayag. Let's bring her in here. All right, I invite Yasmin. Hello.
Hey, hi. So nice to see you. Nice to be here.
Thank you so much for doing this show. Oh my Lord, this is honestly a huge treat. You are so good at Twitter. Your articles are fantastic. For those who don't currently follow you, which people should, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, I was the founding editor of Future Human, which was Medium's publication about how we're going to save ourselves from all the problems that the world is facing using science. And specifically with a coming from the perspective of someone who realizes obviously that like not everyone can benefit from science equally, and we need to, focus on equality and making sure that everyone is taken into consideration as we're plotting how to save the world using science.
That cure-alls aren't necessarily cure-alls for everybody. Easy answers aren't quite so easy if you think about all the ramifications. That's honestly what I love about your work, is that it isn't just like Elon Musk is doing this and it's great. Yes, we'll leave that whole thing over there. But I do love that you think about all the different angles, and I really appreciate that, because I think there needs to be more of that.
Thanks.
Are
you?
Are you? You're like, I agree. There should be more of me out there. Now, thank you so much for agreeing to play What's the Big Idea? It's my favorite. As you may know, it's 5 questions about those big future, big ideas, things that might, yes, she deserves to be on SNL much more than Elon.
Thanks, Andy.
I agree. Strong agree on that one. Now, we're going to ask you 5 questions on a big idea about one of those future things. And we're introducing a new lifeline. We're just going to steal it. It's, instead of Ask the Audience, it's called Ask the Hive Mind. If you ever feel stumped, we've got a lot of smart people in the audience who know a lot about this stuff. So if you ever feel stumped, just say Ask the Hive Mind. We'll go to the comments, and you can pick from that. But there's huge amounts of fake money at stake. I think you're going to do fantastic.
Oh, my favorite kind of money.
No. So I'm going to flip the camera. We're going to get started on your What's the Big Idea? Oh, yes. Oh, I had this all framed a lot closer now, and now there's all this other junk. Anyway, the struggles of broadcasting. What's the big idea? Why isn't this going? Founding editor of Future Human, Yasmin Tayag. We already did that. Your quiz, because I knew you knew everything about everything, is on rising sea levels and little factoids about that. I know. It's not necessarily the fun one, which is why I wanted to try it with you, because I feel like you are fun. You can make some scary stuff, hopefully a little bit fun, and we'll get very stupid. So we'll see. Let's get question number 1. This is worth $1 million fake dollars, so it's a lot.
All right, we're starting off low. I love it.
I know, yeah, really, real low, cheap seats. According to the World Bank, how much will sea level rise cost coastal cities in 2050? Is it $10 billion annually, $1 trillion annually, or, well, Elon, how much you got?
Ooh,
tough one.
Tough to say. 10 billion feels really low to me. I want to say 1 trillion.
All right. Well, let's
Because
see if you are.
I don't
Yep,
think
please.
Elon's not focusing on this stuff.
Yeah. It's like when you can't lean on him. Um, all right. Let's see. The correct answer is $1 trillion annually. That is according to the World Bank. Huge amount of money by 2050. That's if we don't make things worse. So it's super scary. Very expensive stuff. You were right. 10
So
billion. Way
scary.
too low. But we'll correct something. We'll see. Well, big problem. Let's see if we can find a big solution to it. This is worth $10 million. So now we're getting into real big fake money. Which of the following is one of the most at-risk species as sea levels rise? Is it redwood foxes, sea turtles, or anthropomorphic sandcastles? Who
Ooh,
is at risk?
much as I love the sandcastles, I think they're gonna be fine. I'm gonna go
Let's
with the
strike that
sea
one.
turtles. Sea
Sea
turtles?
turtles. I tried to slip you up. Absolutely correct. Yeah, I was like, sea turtles. That makes no sense. Why would sea turtles be bothered by? And of course, I'm sure you know, it's because they lay eggs on the beach, and so if you lose the beaches, you lose the sea turtles.
I've seen
I thought
those
I was going to trip you up,
videos.
and clearly,
Oh my gosh, have you
it's so
seen
sad.
those like it's so sad. These little turtles hatch and they just try to make it to the water, but some of them just don't. So many of them just
I
don't. It's
know.
horrible.
I know, and you
Oh,
are like, I'm sure National Geographic has all these conversations where it's like, yeah, maybe give them a little push there, and they're in not great shape right now.
nope.
But yes, perhaps after this, I'm going to watch a whole bunch of those because they are very heartwarming. But you knew it; you were dead right. You got the 10 million here. Here's a bunch of others: key deer, loggerhead sea turtle. That's the one that you got. Delmarva Peninsula fox, and some other stuff at the highest risk. Now we're going for 50 billion. This is a huge amount of fake money. Still not enough to help coastal cities in 30 years, but nothing to sneeze at. Which of the following is not a stopgap attempt to fight rising sea levels? Planting mangroves, beach construction, or invading the ocean. Now, these are not cure-alls. As we talked about, cure-alls don't cure all. But which one is not a stopgap attempt to fight rising sea levels?
Hmm. Gonna go with invading the ocean.
Absolutely correct. Although I would not put it past someone will suggest it. But yes, I'm sure you know all about this. But mangroves, I think that's so interesting. The idea
Very
that
cool.
you're not only like adding this, ecosystem to the shore, but also fighting, rising sea levels, and you're planting trees at the same time. I love that.
Hmm. Hmm.
What are your thoughts on it? Am I too
Mangroves.
Pollyannish?
I think it can help. They're natural part of many landscapes and definitely
Sure.
provide a lot of they're a habitat for a lot of very odd creatures that sort of live in between. How am I trying to say this? Mangroves are weird. They're like a little bit forest, a little bit in the water. The roots are just sort of floating there, and you're like, is this on land? I don't know. They're just trees in the water. Um,
Yeah, just a
yeah,
little bit
they're
too
very,
weird.
they're very freaky. I have been canoeing through a mangrove forest once in the Philippines, and it was
Oh, really?
very
And
spooky.
freaky to go through?
It's spooky looking. It's kind of dim, and you see these big roots kind of snaking through the water underneath you. But they're home to a lot of species.
So where they fit sounds great. Go be weird, mangroves. You're not going to solve everything, but we like that you're helping.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to flip it back around. You were 3 for 3 on these. Now comes our hardest question. So this is the one. This is the whole deal. This is what's a big idea is based on. It's real big or real fake. What we do is I present a scenario to you, and you have to decide if it is something someone actually is proposing, or if I just made it up and it's just kind of like silly and stupid. So here we go. Because this is so important, this is worth a whopping $5 fake. Here we go. Big idea, real or fake? Reclaim the Mediterranean. A proposed plan to create massive hydroelectric dams at the Strait of Gibraltar and the Suez Canal that could protect the region from sea level rise and even let engineers partially drain the Mediterranean Sea, creating new land. Is that a real suggestion, or is it just kind of an insane thing that we came up
Oh
with?
gosh. I feel like the Suez
This is
Canal
tough, and you
already,
still have you.
I mean, the Suez Canal
I
is
know.
already has so many problems. What if we, why would they want
Oh,
to do more stuff to it? Hmm.
yes, it's like all right. Well, that maybe that oil tanker captain was part of that, trying to be like, I'm gonna solve things. Truly one of my favorite stories of all time.
You know what? Why don't we open it up to the
Ask the
team?
hive mind.
Help me
All
out,
right,
guys.
let's see what is going on. Andy says sounds real. Chandler says feels real to me. Shout out to the Suez Canal. Always shout out to the Suez Canal. I don't know if that sways you or if they're leading you astray. Andy, oh, doubling down on real. Leah says
Ooh.
big real. Okay. What do you think? Oh, sounds sketchier
Hmm.
for skeptic.
Interesting. So I was maybe believing it, but then like draining the Mediterranean to make some land, like why would you want to do that?
Yeah, interesting. Is a bit too far. What do you
I
say?
feel like I don't know. Does the Mediterranean do the areas around the Mediterranean need new land? I don't know
I don't
about that.
know.
I'm sorry, Andy. I don't think I trust you. I want to go with the hive, but I'm gonna go with
Trust your gut.
my sketchy sense, and I'm gonna say that ain't real.
That ain't real. Let's find out. It is real.
Oh
It is.
shoot!
It is a little too boring to be fake. It was suggested. It's called Atlantropa, and it was suggested back in the early 19th century to build giant hydroelectric dams around the Mediterranean. Then you drain part of it, and you can build new lands like this whole little area between Italy and back in it. Yes, it's 100 years old. It's insane. I don't know why they call it Lantropa. It should be like Mediterranean or whatever. Don't worry, you only lost $5 on that, but it is
Wow,
too insane.
I'm so mad
And
that
Sullivan, a
that's
big
real.
and Sullivan TBF. That's insane. It is insane. It didn't happen, but
Right.
it was really proposed. Let's see if I got a little more info. Oh, wait, here. And then if Eric had made it up, it would have had a sillier name. That's true. The big dumb question. This is just opinion. It's subjective. You can redeem yourself here. This is for $100 trillion. It's an opinion question. Would you rather live on newly made Atlantropian lands or go live on Elon Musk's Martian commune? Which one is that for
Oh,
you?
easy, easy. I will take Atlan Trojan land. 100%. Dude, I do not want to
What's the
live.
reason for that?
I do not want to live on Elon Musk's Martian commune. First of all, you know what? I like Earth. I think it is worth saving. I think we should stay here, and it's good. You know, my friends are here. But kind of
So
like
good here.
what Andy is saying, I don't trust Elon Musk to be a commune leader. Look how badly he's messing up. Like, look at all the promises he has made for Tesla's deliveries. Doesn't follow
Oh,
through. You think he's going to follow through when he says, "Hey, I'm going to get you guys some water. Don't
yeah.
worry, we're going to
Just
get
keep kicking
food."
that deadline back.
No way. And on top of that, I don't think Elon Musk cares about all people equally. I mean, look, who's going to go to Mars? A bunch of very rich people who can afford that ticket to Mars. I don't want to live with them.
That's true.
No, they don't
No,
like people like
instead,
me.
move into the weird, is it the Adriatic Sea or that new sea that is no longer a sea? We'll have a fun time there. We'll all move there. If that was gun to your head on those, I would agree. I would not go on Elon Musk's Martian commune. Now, Team Earth, baby. Yes, strong feelings for Team Earth. Now, Yasmin, you study all the. Well, first of all, you did great. You won all the money except for $5, so you are 100 trillionaire. Congratulations! But on top of that, you know all about these big ideas. You study them. You write about them. Is there a big idea that you in particular are excited about? Because I know you read about all this stuff. You know about this. Is there a big idea that excites you in particular?
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's going to sound pretty lame, but I'm really excited about lab-grown dairy. I like cheese. What can I say?
Dairy. I like you. That is, I thought you were going to say meat and the twist for dairy. I love it. Wait, why in particular lab-grown dairy aside from just a love of cheese?
Well, I mean, lab-grown meat also cool, but I,
Sure.
as I study more and more about like sustainability, it's like you don't really need that much meat. I can live with just a little bit of meat. Dairy, on the other hand, I mean, come on. I love cheese. We love cheese. We love cheese. We love,
Cheese.
ice cream.
Ice cream.
But
So
I
good.
think the way that it's being done, and there's some companies that are already working on this, it's just very cool. They're bioengineering yeast to spit out the proteins that make like milk. So, it comes down to like whey protein and casein, which is, these are like
Okay.
two proteins that are found in milk. Casein is the one that like makes cheese stretchy.
Okay.
But anyway, the point is you can engineer yeast to do all sorts of things, to make all sorts of proteins. And when it comes down to it, what is milk but just like a solution of like fat and
Yeah.
carbohydrates and sugars and these proteins? And if we can make that without these cows that burp methane into the world,
Burp if we're
why?
lucky.
It's burping, not farting. I know farting
Oh,
is
it
the thing that
isn't?
we usually, yeah, it's burping. That's the
Oh
worst
my
thing.
God. I've been making cow fart jokes for a year now.
Hey, burp jokes can be very funny.
Oh, that's true. I'm going to switch over. Burp, it's a new territory for me.
Well, anyway, so this is what we could do with yeast, and I think it's really exciting because it beyond dairy, there are so many other applications for this stuff. You can engineer yeast to like pump out antibiotics, which they do, or other active ingredients.
I,
So,
I mean, that's amazing. I'd done, reading about lab-grown meat, but I didn't realize, you're right. I mean, my immediate reason I laughed, I'm like, well, milk, yeah, okay, fine. But you're right. It can expand into so many different kind of foods. And investing in, is there a lab milk coin that we could all get in on or something? Um,
if there is,
but
they
no,
should
that
just
makes
call
sense.
it cheddar.
Shut up.
Terrible, terrible.
Yeah, yeah. I love. Oh, that's actually really good. I love this. Um, well, Yasmin, thank you so much for sharing lab-grown dairy with us, and also for nailing this quiz. Yeah, I knew we weren't going to stop you. You got 4 out of the 5. I mean, you know your stuff. Is there any? I know I already plugged your Twitter, but any other things you might want to plug before we say goodnight?
I would say keep an eye on my Twitter because I'm coming out with a couple of stories I'm very excited about in the next few weeks. A lot to do with food. So
Excellent. And
keep
it's
your
it's
eyes
yeah, yeah,
peeled.
Yasmin, correct?
Sure is.
All right. Well, go follow her on Twitter, on Instagram, everything. She is an invaluable. If you're interested in these big ideas, topics, she writes about them all the time. She is an authority in this whole field. Yasmin, thank you so much for doing the show.
Thank you. This is so fun.
And don't spend all that fake money in one place.
It'll
Sorry.
be on cheese, 100%. It'll just all be cheese.
Oh, jeez.